Anyone else gonna help me remove things? There we go. Okay, there we go. Am I the only hauler? Yeah, but there's that guy. Oh yeah, I get that money. Easy money. I'm getting a lot more money because there's less people on the server. Any haulers? No. Damn it, people. There are no haulers. Why is everybody not hauling? Why are there no balanced hauling? I'm the only hauler here. Holy shit, there's 2 people that are mining. We can't mine. What is wrong with you? Thank you. I don't know. Well, that gold. America, unfortunately. Are you a foreigner or something? America's not the best. Are you from another country? Nice radiation symbols in your name, by the way. Speaking of radiation, I'm trying to find. I'm radio prospecting in this game. I thought about going to the West United States and going radio prospecting, finding uranium. It's very common out west. Not common yet in the East. You think America's the worst country? You know, I'm not gonna judge you, honestly. God damn it. I mean, I'm sad right now. And by the way, and if you think it's the worst country, why? Like, I'm not actually like, oh, why? Because I disagree. Why do you think we're the worst country? I actually want to hear that. I like hearing outsider views. I love it, actually. Oh. I mean, unfortunately, I mean, what, isn't it controlled by... or was it... Oh, no. The Taliban's active there, man. My heart goes out to people that live there that are controlled by that disgusting organization. They hurt and kill innocent people, and they should be wiped out. Every last Taliban person. But man, my country is in the shit right now, I'm telling you. We are turning away, or making every single one of the world leaders hate us, man. Literally, our country's leader is making friends with Vladimir effing Putin. You know, the guy who started the Ukraine war that has been going on for 3 years and a day now. And he is cutting so many health benefits. He is cutting veterans' benefits. He is about to attack the NOAA, which is our weather organization, which I want to be a meteorologist, so it threatens my ability to go to a job. He is anti-wind energy, which is the job I'm going into right now. He wants American jobs, but he's firing every federal worker, or at least most of them, he can find. He wants the economy to be good, but he's making tariffs that will completely destroy it. The stock market. You know what? If you said that 3 years ago, I'd be calling you crazy. You know what? Shit. I wasn't a big fan, but you know what? Shit. I'd have him over right now. I'd have him over what was happening right now. Oh my god. Oh. I mean, hey, I can say what I want about Biden, but Biden, when he got in office, his approval rating wasn't negative, right? Let me go see my data. According to Gallup News, which is a independent, when Biden was sworn into office, his approval rating was, let's see, his approval rating was 57%, and his disapproval was 37%. And it took 9 months for him to get more disapproval than approval. Currently, our newest president, Trump, when he got into office, his approval rating was 47%, and his disapproval, 48%. That's negative 1%. And now his approval rating is 45%, and disapproval is 51%. Majority of our people hate that asshole. I mean, he's literally screwing the economy up. He said, oh, we're going to end the war in Ukraine in the first 24 hours. It's still going on. We're going to drive groceries rapidly down, while then he admits that inflation is out of control. I went to the grocery store today. Eggs are $6 a dozen at their cheapest. Absolutely disgusting. And not to lie, he's a creep. He's literally admitted to people that he likes to own pageants just so he can see people dress. Not even kidding you. He's raised the debt by $20.6 trillion, more than Barack Obama in his 8 years, and Trump served 4. He raised the debt by $26.2 trillion. That is a million times a million. That is a million times a million. That is a lot of money. Orangutan. Yeah. Because at least orangutans are freaking badass. You know what? This is amazing. We're both communicating and we both have horrible leaders. Basically, do you know what oligarchy is? It's basically when a bunch of people that are really rich rule and they completely just curb stomp any class below them. I have autism, right? And these guys are anti-DEI. You know what DEI helps with? Helps me do education, and now because I'm being educated, I'm gonna be a wind turbine technician. I'm gonna actively help my country by aiding in the green energy transition. I'm literally gonna be working on machines that make electricity for my country. Don't you think those IEPs would pull off? But no, it's just wasteful spending. And people in my country are getting pissed. They're going to courthouses. They are completely shutting these people down. I usually don't get into politics, but I'm this close to writing to my representative. I'm about to go to town halls. Thank you. I'm about to give them a piece of my mind. I didn't vote because you know what? My politics, my country are horrible. I'm an independent. I'm not a Republican or Democrat. I'm an independent. I'm sick and tired of the people in my country fighting. We are the United States, but we are the most divided country on the earth. Everybody fights over and over. Like nobody in this country can come together. Hopefully until now. Americans need to stand up. Raise a king? What's that? Educate me. And by the way, don't think that, you know, you might get the stereotype, oh, every American are like these big old military people who hate everybody or may hate people in the Middle East. I'm not like that. I'm completely okay in the Middle East. The only thing I don't like in the Middle East is all the people who terrorize their citizens. Like, I hate the Taliban. I feel, honestly, really bad and sympathetic for the people that live in any of those countries. Those countries sound like they have great culture. Honestly, one day I hope that they can, you know, be free. We are the people. King. Huh. We quote-unquote have a king, and he's... Interesting. But this is... Yeah, America is completely trashing its allies. Oh, by the way, can you imagine? Look at that little tiny drill compared to this one. Like our country, the leaders. I don't care if I offend anybody by saying this, but my country's leader Trump is so stupid. He claimed that Ukraine started the Ukraine-Russian war, when it's obvious Putin did it. I remember literally when the Ukraine war started, it was his fault. Putin started this. He's a salty little bitch because he lost his land in the frickin' end of the Soviet Union. Ukraine was part of the Soviet Union, and now it's not. They're actually called, independent. They're sovereign. And he's pissed because he wants control. And you know how we help Ukraine? We basically say, give us minerals, or else we shut off internet. We are literally bullying Ukraine, and it's disgusting. Like, imagine you're in a war-torn country, right? Actually, no offense. Like, imagine if you Iran, right? You live in Iran. I want you to imagine you're getting attacked, right? And you get internet provided by America, and we say, you give us your minerals? I do. You give us your minerals, or you don't get internet. No exception. You don't get internet if you don't give us your minerals. That's bullying. Anybody can spin it as they will. That is just straight bullying. I mean, Ukraine needs those minerals. They're war-torn. Do you see how much damage these Russian drones are doing? Actually, one of these Russian drones or missiles hit the new safe confinement at Chernobyl. Yeah. Hey, look it up. We're basically saying, oh, if you don't make a deal where we get to have some of your minerals, we're going to shut your internet off. And outside of entertainment, internet is crucial. You need it for banking. You need it for communication. The internet is really, really valuable now. If you got rid of the internet, society would collapse. But Ukraine needs those minerals and all those precious metals to rebuild. They've been battered to the ground, and it's sad to see America, which we should be... I mean, you know what? As much as people hate to say, oh, hey, quote-unquote, foreign aid going out, they're NATO. Right? We're homies. We're supposed to basically defend them. Alright? But yeah, my government right now is corrupt. It is evil. I know yours is, but I mean, we both have evil governments, man. I mean, what? Correct me if I'm wrong. The Taliban will literally kill you if you're a woman and you speak in public. Is that right? We all know they are sexist as shit. There you go, dump all that weird shit down there. But yeah, you get my point. Honestly, here's the thing. I want to live in a country where I'm free. Right? I don't mind that I have to pay taxes, right? But they're saying, oh, we're cutting waste, right? Okay, remember I told you earlier that they were cutting the NOAA. They're imminently going to cut them. The NOAA leads this thing called the NWS. That's called the National Weather Service. If you don't know, unlike Iran, in America, we get tornadoes. Yeah, we get tornadoes. And I'm not, by the way, I'm not insulting your intelligence. I think you're pretty smart, right? But if you don't know what a tornado is, it's a giant rotating column of air. It's a literal hell on earth. It will rip through entire towns. It will tear down buildings. It completely they can wipe entire towns off maps, right? And National Weather Service helps and predicts these tornadoes. But they are about to lose up to half of their staff and 30% of their funding under Doge. Yeah. I think we all know, I mean, no matter what we have any opinion on the government, I think we can all agree that the National Weather Service is a good thing. A poll here serviced that 76% of America agrees with the National Weather Service. And according to this poll, the National Weather Service is the most, is the most favorite government agency. The second place is 63%, with Central for the CDC, or Central for Disease Control. Oh, and by the way, we pulled out of the World Health Organization. So if we ever have like a COVID-esque era event, if we need help, we're basically screwed. We are basically screwed if we need the world event. We've already seen how Trump has led COVID. That was the disaster. 3,000 people a day in my country were dying of COVID, right? I heard that from a well-reformed video. See that. Like, by the way, if you know what 9/11 is, right? It's of course our famous terrorist event, or I should say infamous, right? That's the equivalent of a 9/11 event happening every day, killing people, right? And now we got some idiot in office or not just in office, but we have an idiot who is basically anti-vax, who is like what? The top leader of one of the health organizations? Oh, and by the way, speaking of diseases, we have bird flu going through our country. Bird flu, basically, is driving up the price of eggs and chicken, right? I love chicken. My mom went to go get some chicken for me. They're sold out. Couldn't find any of these certain chicken tenders. Now, of course, there was chicken at the supermarkets. Just not the one I liked. I work at a restaurant. We've had the price, each of our eggs, 50 cents up per egg. My boss is paying $10 a dozen. Mexico, they're paying like $1.68 equivalent. They're getting their eggs cheap. And all this while he basically tries to spin everything. He is a hateful, disgusting person. Trump is a lying piece of shit, and I don't care what anybody says, right? There is a fact checker team at the Washington Post, which is a conservative outlet, who analyzed his speeches. He made 20 to 30,000 false claims. That is 21 lies a day. That is almost a lie every single hour. Okay? And guess what? He ain't awake all day, right? So that's probably, he's making 2 lies an hour. 2 critical lies an hour. And that starts stacking up. And by the way, both Trump and the Washington Post are conservative. Even his own party, a news article from his own party, agreed he's a lying piece of shit. He's like, oh, for example, on the wind industry, he's like, oh, windmills, by the way, we have to pay $2 for 200,000. You probably, wait, shit. Are you from Iraq or Iran? Look what I got. I got 1,000 dinars. And apparently this banknote is a UV banknote. Man, United States banknotes are kind of like a little bit uglier than all the other banknotes I've seen. The world's got some pretty good banknotes. This box is shit. Yeah, I got 1,000 dinars, so I'm broke in Iraq. But literally, by the way, the Trump presidency, they started firing people for airline safety. Actually, hold on. Did Black Hawk happen before? Did Black Hawk crash before the FAA firings? I don't know, but right? We basically fired people for airline safety. You know what happens? We got 5 planes plus that have crashed. And what? 80 people have died? 80 people have lost their lives because airline safety is overworked. So now he's directly, or should I say indirectly, caused deaths. And if he cuts the NWS down half of their employees, people are going to die. We are 4 months and 4 days away from tornado season. It is on the horizon. If the NWS loses their efficiency, people are going to lose their lives. I'm not saying all, severe weather is gonna, all the warnings are never gonna show through, but it's shown that the NWS is actually slightly understaffed, all the way up to 5%, and in some buildings are understaffed by 25%. Like, it does not matter how you spin it. The NWS is vital to everybody's lives. Oh, he's got the uranium. Good shit. And then after that, you got this guy called Elon Musk. He runs this thing called the Department of Government Efficiency. They are shams. Their presidency basically advertises themselves as, we want American jobs, we want American jobs, we want American jobs. You know what happened? Guess what? They're firing everybody in federal position. Yeah, nice American jobs. And if you criticize what he's doing, you'll be called some stupid liberal or some dumbass. They will never take their criticism, ever. Because MAGA people are the most, I don't care if I get backlash. They're the most stuck up, aggressive, most insufferable group of people I've ever known. They are hateful, they are deceitful, and they're scumbags. Like, I literally overheard some MAGA people at my work, like some customers, saying, oh, why don't we just deport all these illegals, let's just dump them in the Atlantic Ocean. I'm like, wow. Look, man, illegal or not, they're human beings, right? You know what? Yeah, I agree. You shouldn't come in illegally. However, here's another same side of the coin, is that to get into the country, it is such a pain in the ass. You have to wait literally days, weeks, months. And sometimes you won't even get a response. They're awful. I'm waiting for my people to start waking their asses up and realizing that somebody that has some billionaire is not going to care for them. Nobody. It's not going to happen. I'm sorry, but if you think a billionaire is going to care about you, no. Maybe there's people, maybe there's some good people, right? But seriously, you cannot convince me He doesn't care about people. He got people's votes. He's in the basically what he would dictate as the king's throne. He won, and the American people lost, no matter what political affiliation they are. Oh, by the way, speaking of Black Hawk, right? It crashed, the helicopter crashed. He blamed DEI, not a faulty, system. He blamed diversity. As a person with autism, who you would probably consider DEI, that's bullshit. I'm getting sick and tired of this. You saying that because people are diverse, that a goddamn helicopter crash? Like, what is going through your brain to get you to even come close to that conclusion? You don't even give the first thought to mourn the victims. You don't even give the first thought to, pray for them. No, you point the fingers towards people who didn't cause it. It is not the fault of some black person, some white person, right? Some gay person, some trans person, some disabled person that it's in there, right? We don't, what's it called? It maybe could have, but it's so irresponsible to basically claim that right off the get-go. And it's just disgusting. I'm not saying people on DEI can't be blamed, but I'm saying they shouldn't be blamed because they are, right? You shouldn't be blamed for something because you're white. You should be blamed for something if you're black, or etc. You get where I'm going? Like, this is enough. Stop this. This is shameful. This is America. We're the most diverse people on earth. This is the melting pot of humanity. Irish, Iran people, Chinese people, Korean people, Russian people, Ukraine people. We have all come together seeking peace and the American dream. That's this country. You should be able to have a family, get a job, and be free. But every single day, people that hold insurmountable power. Oh, thank you. Yeah, thanks, dude. That's actually really nice. I'm sorry if I'm ranting, but you know what, guys? I have been silent for afraid I'd piss some MAGA people off. But you know what? If you get offended, that must mean that you know I'm right. And before you type some hate comment, right now, I want to ban everybody who mentions, who is MAGA. But you know why I don't? Because I don't want to silence free speech. I believe more in free speech than these MAGA people will ever do. And you know what? I'll give them a chance to run their shit. I will. So you know what? Explain to me, right? If anybody ever sees this and they're MAGA, explain to me why you think cutting healthcare benefits, the NWS, veterans benefits, putting tariffs and screwing up the economy, literally calling Zelensky a dictator, and aligning with Putin, who has committed literally God knows how many crimes, who is literally, he has a warrant for his arrest. He is a war criminal. Explain to me why getting rid of the Department of Education, why blaming DEI for shit that we don't do. Explain to me why that's good, right? Instead, you know what? By you literally calling everybody a liberal, you admit to yourself you cannot have any counter agreement. All you do is point the finger and blame. You cannot ever bring any intelligent, smart talking points to the table. You can't negotiate with these people. And if that offends you and you are MAGA, you need to rethink yourself, okay? I want to say how much I dislike you. But you know what? You need to know that sometimes you're wrong, right? If you live your life and you deny every single thing in your life, and you think that you can never be wrong, You are living the most disgusting, boring life in human history. Like, listen, people from MAGA, it's alright to be wrong, right? Just because you get one thing wrong does not mean you are a shit person. What makes you a shit person is when you blame people who did not do something, is when you aggressively attack everybody around you and blame minorities for shit they don't do, right? And fight aggressively, not sit down and peacefully talk things out, but fight aggressively when you could, again, peacefully do things. When we try to peacefully critique you, you rage. You do. And you know what's funny? I have to say this word. They blame everybody's woke and shit. You know what woke means? It means you're aware of social injustice. If you literally know that there's injustice, everybody's woke, right? They're blaming that this is... They blame they get mad at everything for being so quote-unquote woke. But when they see a transgender person or a gay person on their screen, they cry on Twitter. And prove me wrong. Literally, look at the cast for The Little Mermaid when they had a black woman on it. They got pissed. You're telling us that we're snowflakes, but you get pissed when somebody of color or any other thing you don't like is on TV? Grow up. You're sensitive. You think men cry about gay people on TV? No. That's for bitches. And then we actually complain that we're getting slurred against, and they're like, oh, you're snowflakes. Well, guess what, buddy? Maybe me as an autistic person, maybe I don't want to go down the street of Bloomington, Illinois, and be called a retard. Huh? You ever thought about that? So next time, you know, I'm sorry if I'm getting on a rant. I swear. Like, I'm not saying it with all these people, I can't stand it, right? When some MAGA person, and they're like some white dude, right? In their freaking 50s, right? And they're like, oh my god, you're getting mad? Guess what, buddy? You weren't born disabled. You weren't born gay. You weren't born black, dude. You were born as a straight white neurotypical guy, right? And by the way, this is not with all neurotypical people. I did a speech, and there's many neurotypical people, white people, right? That weren't this way. Because they showed up to watch me talk about autism. But I'm not trying to piss people off here, but please realize that, like, I'm